Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Nerd Lab. Today we have an exciting deck for you, Captain Howler Sea Scourge. But before we get into that, don't forget we still have the Dominaria Remastered 2K giveaway. For your chance to win a Dominaria Remastered booster box, all you gotta do is like, subscribe, and put nerd, N-E-R-D nerd, into the comments down below. And with that out of the way, let's get into the deck tech. Captain Howler Sea Scourge is a 5/4 shark pirate costing 2, a blue, and a red. Captain Howler has Ward 2, pay 2 life, and reads whenever you discard one or more cards, target creature gets +2/+0 until end of turn for each card discarded this way. Whenever that creature deals combat damage to a player this turn, you draw a card. Captain Howler is one of the most talked about commanders from this set and is extremely unique. Now this entire deck revolves around having Captain Howler out and benefiting off of discarding cards. So once we get him out, we want to keep him on the board. That Ward 2 is a huge plus. I don't love the 4 CMC cost because we really want him out by turn 3, so we want to make sure that our ramp is on point. We're running your normal staples like Soul Ring, Wayfarer's Bauble, and Arcane Signet, but this is a perfect deck for Lotus Petal. Since we have card draw on the commander, we should be able to replace the card we lost. And if that enables us to get Captain Howler out by turn 2, even better. My favorite ramp once we have our commander out is Big Score and Unexpected Windfall. Not only do they give us treasures, but they draw us cards and hit our discard synergy. Well, that's really nice. I know. Another card that hits all 3 points is Mary Reed and Anne Bonny. Having the loot effect on a stick with a chance to give us treasures because this deck has plenty of islands and has a decent amount of pirates. And since our Capitan wants us punching people in the face, last but not least is Professional Facebreaker. Because when this deck is working right, we're making 3 treasures, we're drawing 3 cards, and we all know the 2 most important, most powerful things in Magic: ramp and card draw. And since we're already talking about it, let's get into our card draw. Card draw. Outside of our commander, the best way to draw cards in this deck are wheels. So let's start it off with our bald brothers, Magus of the Wheel, and his smarter, sexier, and all-around better brother, Jace's Archivist. Refilling our hand is not only going to give us lots of fuel for the fire, but with our commander out is going to end up in a lot of damage. Then when you add cards like Riel the Everwise, when you discard 7, you're going to draw 14 cards. And by the end of it, she's going to end up as a pretty darn good baiter to swing in with. Another great addition was Tolarian Winds. I know Windfall's a great card and it's in here, but sometimes your opponents might get a little salty when you keep wheeling them. Last but not least is Change of Fortune. Discard your hand, then draw a card for each card you've discarded this turn. If you can play this after you've wheeled or after you've discarded a bunch of cards, it's going to pay huge dividends. But now that we've got more than a full grip with a bunch of great cards, what do we do with them? It's time for some synergy. Synergy. Well, first thing I want to do is play a bunch of low-to-the-ground, unblockable creatures. My favorite is Ghostly Pilferer. Not only is this going to draw us cards whenever our opponents cast their commander from the command zone, but it has printed on it, discard a card, Ghostly Pilferer can't be blocked this turn. That means it's going to draw us cards early on in the game, it's going to draw us cards whenever we hit with them, replacing the discarded card and giving him +2/+0. But in those times when we have 14 cards in hand that we have nothing to do with, let's discard all 14 to his ability, give this dude +28/+0 and smack somebody for 30. Another card with discard printed on it is Commander Staple, Aeromoeba. Anytime I can play a flying walrus, I'm doing it. Flying's not as good as unblockable, but it's still really strong, and discarding a card at will is huge in this deck. Invisible Stalker and Mist-Cloaked Herald are 2 other nice low-to-the-ground, get him out early, unblockable creatures. We get value through combat damage, and we can win through it. But what about our other wincons? We draw so many cards that Psychosis Crawler is a great add, though it's not very original. I much prefer cards like Braylon Skyshark Rider. Sadly, we can't put our partner Shabraj in this deck, but being able to deal 1 damage to each of our opponents every time we discard a card is huge. And the nice bonus, 1 red to give our commander trample, it's pretty good. Glenhorn Buccaneer is another great add because it does the same thing, dealing damage every time you discard a card. But for 2 mana, you can discard a card and draw a card as long as he's attacking. I gotta give props to whoever designed Captain Howler's Sea Scourge. Turning something negative like discarding cards into something positive, into a wincon, into a value engine was a great idea. This commander feels new, it feels fresh. I love playing it, it's super fun. It's a shark pirate that wants to attack, and when you can't attack, it's versatile enough to win through other means. Great job to Wizards for designing this card, and great job to Adam for building this deck. Do yourself a favor, go to our Mox field, try it out for yourselves. And if you put this deck to paper, come back to our comments, let us know how it went. Hey, while you're down there, like, subscribe, and maybe you can win that Dominator Remastered booster box. Thank you all for watching, and until next time, embrace the chaos.